When the original Miyoo Flip came out earlier this year, the beginning of the year, I posted my initial impressions and I had a few questions about the hinge and its loud noise. And I was optimistic because it was the first 24 hours with it, but I kind of got some pushback from a few folks who thought that I was being a little dramatic. But after some time, we saw that yes, there were problems and it cracked. So when Miyoo announced they were going to make a smaller version of this, everyone thought, unless they fix that hinge, it's not really a really big deal, is it? Well, Miyoo has sent us the mini flip, and we're going to unbox and take a look at it today. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our content. But let's hop in and let's see what I get and my first reactions to the all new, just now going on sale, Miyoo Mini Flip. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Factor. If you're like me and the wife, you often find it hard and difficult to prepare food. And those frozen meals at the grocery store, they're frozen and not very good. So why not try Factor? In fact, I've got a big announcement. Factor now ships with 2 times, that's right, twice the amount of green beans as before. Because we know everyone loves, no wait, I'm not a sponsor of Factor, and there were too many green beans. That's actually one of the problems. Hey, deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new deadheads. Today, we're going to take a look at the Miyoo Mini Flip. Okay, guys, I'm so excited. I just received, just now, the Miyoo Mini Flip. I want to say thanks to Miyoo for sending this to me for review. They've not seen this video or this unboxing ahead of time, but I just got it. I wanted to do this unboxing. I don't even know what color they've sent me. I'm just so excited about this. Go check out Twig Dweeb's review. He's already released his review. So this is an unboxing and first look at it. It's not a review, but I wanted to just kind of take a look at this and open it up and share with you guys my excitement. And yeah, let's start. Let's get this thing open. So again, there is only one Miyoo. I'll leave a link to both their official website and the store on AliExpress, where you can pick up this along with other things like the Miyoo V4, the Miyoo Plus, the A30, and of course the Flip, the larger Flip. So here we go. Now, I kind of hope, I'm grateful to whatever color they sent, but we've had the SNES one, so I hope I got a different color just so we can see a different one of these. But let's pull this out and find out. And as you can see here, it is in a nice box. It is a tiny box. Nothing much on the box, but we actually get a box, so not much there. Now the flip box had a little color on it and stuff like this. This is more basic, but that's okay. Let's open it up and take a look. And we have our bag inside. So notice there's no marking as to color. So I still don't know. I still don't know what color I've got here. But I'm certainly grateful that I was able to get an opportunity to review this or take a look at this, guys. It launched today on the website. There's a limited stock for the first run, so get it if you want it. The bag is really nice. It's the typical Miyoo bag that we're used to. It has the nice little zipper here with the controller. It feels good, and let's just let's see what color old dead Fred got. Camera, you want to take a look? Okay. So let's just start. Let's delay. Delayed gratification. So let's start with the manual here. And so there is a little manual here. Frequently asked questions, online battle, firmware upgrade operation, game ROM storage, main interface. Now, in case you didn't know, this does have built-in Wi-Fi, unlike the Miyoo Mini. It does not have Bluetooth, nor does it have a headphone jack. So I think they do have an adapter in there. And yeah, here's an adapter. So be aware of that. There's no built-in headphone jack. We have a USB-A to C cord here, typical cord. And then we have our game card. It looks like they sent me a 64 gig game card, an Evo game card. This is, I don't know what kind of card this is. It doesn't look cheap, so hopefully it's a good one. And we do have a card reader here. So that's nice, a card reader. And then, so this is the bag and everything. So let's get down to it. Let's put all this stuff back. It's your typical package, typical things that we're used to in here. And again, if you want to play some headphones, there's an adapter in here because there is no Bluetooth, but there is Wi-Fi. And can I get a drum roll, please? Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's sponsor and our partner, AliExpress. And specifically, I wanted to talk about 3D printers. 3D printers are awesome now, and I have lately been using them quite a bit. We know in our hobby there's a lot of grips that we like to buy, and Etsy has some excellent ones, but you could also make them at home, just like this one I made with the Flash Forge printer. Now, the Flash Forge comes in two different varieties, a cheaper open frame or a little bit more expensive enclosed frame pro model. Check out the codes at the bottom of my page here and check out the Flash Forge printers so you can get a great deal. These are fantastic units that work very well and help me create all kinds of really cool grips with the printable STL files, usually free online somewhere. Anyways, we want to thank AliExpress as always for being our partner. Remember to hit that link, and back to the show. Okay, so I got the black. I got the black. I want to thank them again. I think the black looks great. When we first saw the leaks of this, the first images, we didn't even see black. So I'm glad that we have black, and immediately in my hands, this feels really good. It is very small. Now, comparing it directly with my Miyoo V4 Mini, you can see that folded is much smaller, but let's open it up. Let's hear this hinge. Oh, the hinge is smooth. It doesn't crackle like it did in the other one. But holding the two up next side by side, it makes it a little bit taller, extended. But that's the beauty of a clamshell. You can close it, and then looky there. You're able to make it smaller and fit in your pocket even more. The materials feel good. This feels good as expected. Let's do a little bit of button testing and check the buttons out. Wow. Okay, so the buttons are quiet. They're really quiet. Now let me see. They are different than the buttons on the V4. Don't expect the same buttons because these are more domed and they're glossy that we've seen on that. These are going to have a little more of a flat top, and they're going to be not as glossy. They're more matte. But yeah, I think they're quieter. They're very close. They're very close as far as how they feel and sound, even though they're different buttons. So the buttons are fine. Let's talk about this D-pad now. The D-pad is equally a little bit different. Now the D-pad feels really good. It's a little on the small side. I wish it was a little bit bigger than that, but I gotta say that I am very happy with the feel of the D-pad on this. I think it feels really good. And when you're folding it down, you're gonna need the D-pad to be down. Now folded, there is not really a gap. I don't see a gap here. It looks like it folds all the way down. So that's very exciting as well. Okay, man, opening and closing this, it reminds me a lot of Star Trek. Like, there's been plenty of this form factor, but for the first time, I feel like I'm holding an actual Star Trek. Beam me up, Scotty. It is just a very cute little small size. And let's talk about the hinge. The hinge does click into three places, and it stays in place. Now, I've been in communication with several custom firmware developers that have been using this for a while, and they have all had very favorable experiences with the Hinge. They haven't seen any problems, so I think Miyoo has figured it out because it doesn't make that sound. If you saw my original video with the Miyoo Mini Flip, this one you could see, and you can still hear it. This is my V1, my black V1. And just, oh, like I remember in the original video saying, I don't know about this Hinge, but this, just quiet. Just really, really quiet. So hopefully we've figured this out. While my V1, black V1, almost a year later, still going strong, a lot of people did have trouble with that hinge. So I'm glad to see that they have effectively replaced the hinge. Now the shoulder buttons, oh, those feel great. Those feel really, really great. They're not too loud. They feel good. They're in the same position as on the flip. I think they're pretty much the same buttons. In fact, the D-pad, the buttons, and the shoulder buttons are very, very similar to what we have on the flip. So if you've used the flip, you should expect more of the same. A little curious, I kind of wish that the black had matched and did the red X and Y like they did on the flip. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it. I kind of like the pure white too. So looks good like that. Around the side of it, we do have a power button on the side. On the bottom, we have a single SD card slot, okay? And then we have a rocker volume on the left. We have a USB-C port up top. So, again, the ports are very similar to the Miyoo. Of course, with the Miyoo, we had the wheel. We have the volume wheel. We get a rocker or a plus and minus instead of a volume wheel. And we have a headphone jack. We do not have a headphone jack on this, so a little curious about that. Maybe it was a space-saving measure to keep this thing as small as it is. And then, of course, we have a different place for the power button. But let's get this thing sort of fired up. And again, just for those wondering about the hinge, look at this. No problem. No problemo. This hinge is loud. This one, very quiet. Let's get it booted up and take a look at the software that they've shipped it with. And then also, we do know that Onion works, and there's a lot of custom firmware being developed for this. So I'm very excited for this, guys. This could be the everyday carry for those games that are appropriate for it. Hey guys, Dead Fred here. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment and share with you this awesome cover for our Miyoo Flip. Have you tried the Miyoo Flip? Now, some of you are getting broken hinges, but for those of you who are not, like me, I've had 3 of these and none of them have broke. This is a silicone cover that just really makes it better. It adds a little lanyard. It's really awesome. It was sent to us by our friends at AliExpress. I wanted to just kind of show this off. You can use my coupon codes in the description to save more, but this is a nice little thing you can add to your Miyoo Flip. Hopefully the manufacturing will get better. Again, I've had 3 of these with no issues, but I've seen that some of you all have had issues, so yeah, it's a real thing. But if you get a good one, hey, you might want to check out this silicone cover, which I think adds a lot of value to your Miyoo Flip. Anyways, guys, as always, thanks for checking out the channel. Back to the show. Okay, so first booting up, we do know that this has the same CPU that we have in the Miyoo Mini V4. So performance-wise, it's going to perform, or should perform, like this, pretty much exactly, because it's got the same sort of internal power on it. Let's turn this on and let's take a look at what it comes up with. And we have those little lights on the side to show us, and the Miyoo Linux Games boot up screen. So very familiar there. And the screen is crisp and bright. I did install the SD card that they shipped with me. So I did get a 64 gig card. And as it loads, we get a screen that is very familiar. So it looks just like the screen that you would see if you boot up their original software. And it looks like this is the V4 screen, so it is the higher resolution screen. And as we play some games here, the sound on it, let me turn the sound up and see. Oh, wow. Yeah, the sound is, so it's got a good sound on it. Screen looks good. Yeah, this looks really good. So we have the same menus that we're used to. So this is pretty much, if you've used one of these so far, it's like operating this in this form factor, which is what I think everybody wanted. I think it's what everybody had sort of asked for. Um, it's got a lot of games on this. I'm going to do a little more testing on this. This is not a full review. This is an unboxing and initial impressions. I got to say that so far, the size of it is impressive. Now, these do complement each other pretty well, and hopefully this hinge will make its way onto here because this is the 3566 and it's going to play N64 and things like that. This does not have a GPU. This is going to top out at PS1, but it should play PS1 pretty good. It'll play, they got Drastic on here to play some Nintendo dual screen, but man, for your lower end level 16-bit, 32-bit handheld level gaming things, this is going to be great. So overall, I've got to say that initial impressions on this is far better than the initial impressions I had on this. I have not encountered any real big problems with this. The battery life seems to be good. It is not on Onion. It is not sleeping. The hinge mechanism is not sleeping. It is turning the screen off on the stock firmware. So it does do that, which is good. Um, but we've got some custom firmware coming, and Onion OS, if you have a card, taking it out and swapping it pretty much works with no problem. This is now on sale. Again, there's only 200 in the first batch. I have a link down below if you want to pick one up. Again, we want to thank Miyoo for sending this over to take a look at it. Very favorable initial expectations, especially the hinge, which is what I was most worried about. Size and weight feel good. Um, yeah, this one ought to be a good one. This ought to be a good seller. Remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow's never promised. See you next time, Deadheads. Get Fred out.